Okay, welcome everybody. Thanks for being here. We are chatting today to my lovely pal, Stacey Carl. Stacey is a kinesiologist, she's a quantum healer, and she's a vegan, raw vegan nutritionist as well. So she is a great person to go for advice for looking at your diet and nutrition, but not just that, holistically, on every level. And I've worked with Stacey for, well, I think it's over a year now, Stacey. Over a year? And so, yeah, I just thought we would have a chat and share with anyone watching about what you do. And I know you're really passionate about it, so I don't need to say why you do it because it's obvious. You're great at what you do. And then we'll do like a little mini session so people can really see for themselves if it's something they want to get involved with. And this is a time this year of 2020 vision, clear thinking and clear seeing, and I suppose finding ourselves and really releasing and healing and letting go of all the programs and the past life traumas and childhood issues and things that make us the way we are right now. And so tell me more about kinesiology, because some people will be like, what's that? And it's also for people that do know it and do have it, like myself, I still don't fully understand what it is and how it works.
Yeah, it's a hard one to describe. So it's basically a type of energy healing which can detect and correct imbalances in the body. This may relate to nutrition, pathogenic activity, injuries, stress, which can be found both the physical, the chakras, and the auric body. So once pinpointed, we can just clear them out of the way.
And so you're tapping into your client's energy field.
Yeah, so it works the same way that Reiki would, distantly. If we're doing it by video, or I'm using the person's arm, if I'm seeing them in person.
Yeah, so we're in lockdown right now, so
yeah,
we've been working on the phone, haven't we? And I've actually found that really amazing, just putting in my earphones and listening to you and no distractions. And so no, I just find that really effective.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, we haven't got this, we haven't planned our backgrounds, we just happen to have the same tapestry behind our cameras. In case anyone's like, oh, that's right. Interesting. So kinesiology, how long have you been doing it for? How long have you been
about 9 years. 9 years now. Full time, probably the last 2 years.
Yeah. And you've got quite a few clients, haven't you now? Quite busy being. And what would you say is the most common, or what would you say were the most common ailments or issues that people come to you with?
Difficulty losing weight, stomach issues, just feeling stuck in life, and like trouble with emotions. That's generally hormone. Also, I've seen a lot of people with skin issues at the moment. So acne, eczema, psoriasis. That's a big one. But yeah, just generally people that are feeling stuck and help them shift out of that stuck feeling. So anxiety, depression, sadness, grief, the list goes on.
And what I love about it is that you can sometimes go and see you, or on the phone connect with you, and you think, oh, I'm going through this at the time, but you might not voice it to you, but it comes up, but you don't realize the root cause might be a past life, and it makes so much sense. And then seriously, instantly, the next day, things in my life are changing. That's what I think is almost magical about it. Although I think there must be a quantum physics theory, scientific reason why it works. Although it's just not in my particular interest to investigate that, because I don't feel like I need to. I just have this knowing that this is right for me and that this stuff is powerful and works. But I appreciate that sometimes people do need to go and research kinesiology in the quantum field, and like we'll talk maybe later about quantum codes, which might come up, which has been coming up a lot for me recently, and I know you said to other people too. They're powerful, and this is tapping into like information, like a small amount of information, but actually there is so much to learn here. So yeah, it's exciting. I hope people enjoy watching. Yeah, is there anything else? Just the past life things as well, like that I could be like struggling with something now. It's actually from, like, I remember the last session we had, it was 200 lifetimes ago that it was coming up now, and I'd formed beliefs. So a lot of our emotional problems, and therefore our triggers in our reality, and the decisions we make and the experiences we experience, is not based from this life. Is that true? Is that something that you found with a lot of people they're working on?
Yeah, I'm clearing a lot of past lives. I think as the 3D and the 5D timelines are collapsing, everyone's past trauma is coming up for clearing. Your soul, your energy is literally a recording device. So everything that you experience, whether that's shock or trauma, gets recorded in your energy. You're just changing vehicle every lifetime. So that you might have a limiting belief, but you're not sure where it comes from. Let's choose a common one. I'm not worthy. Every time you experience, or because it's still in your energy and you haven't cleared it, you're going to keep attracting those situations, those people to you that are mirroring that belief. So we have to go way back to the root cause of where that belief came from, and then clear it. So once it's clear, you're going to start attracting a better kind of situation, people towards you.
So how many times, anyone's watching, have you had this repetitive thing happening with a person, or the same sort of person show up again and again, making you feel like you're not worthy, and you think actually that's your behavior that's making me feel I'm not good enough, like why is what you're doing? And actually, as soon as we can realize and awaken to the fact that they're only showing up in the outside world, they're in front of us, to highlight that true deep,
what is unhealed within you,
exactly, that true deep belief, which is a limiting one, which isn't true. It's maybe a decision we made past lifetimes ago. It could be actually that our mum or dad felt the same way as a child, and therefore it's been sort of passed down. So inner child work is obviously number one stuff, and then once we've cleared that,
ancestral healing as well.
Ancestral healing, yeah. So down the is it seven generations back generally?
I think it's 4 back and 3 forward when you clear it in yourself.
Okay, so that's what can show up with you in your life right now, ancestrally.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
And this goes on. This is multi-level, isn't it?
Oh yes, every level.
And then what fascinates me is all the stuff around spiritual issues. And I've had a couple of major spiritual crises in the last few years. And I remember when I came back from Bali in November last year, and you tried to help me as best you could. And you said, look, this is beyond my even advanced experience, and passed me over to someone who really helped me. And it was insane. It sounds insane, the stuff that she was tapping into, and she cleared for me. And I'm so grateful for that. But this stuff is, that we're tapping into a small proportion of information, but whatever comes up in a session, I feel is what's needed there and then. So to trust that. Shall we do it then? Shall we give it a go? Is there anything else you want to say on that? Is there anything else you want to say on that, Stacey? What I just said?
I can also clear old contracts no longer appropriate, and old vows that you might still have, cords attaching you to people that aren't serving you,
cord cutting,
spirit guide cleanses as well. So yeah, the list is endless. Okay, right. Do we have energy permissions about to go over today? I'm just going to check that you're balanced. Yeah, okay. Okay, so it's coming up with foods.
I am doing a 21-day cleanse at the moment, but I am getting a bit bloated after food. And by the way, just a disclaimer,
Yeah, okay.
I'm being really open here. You have
right,
access to the world. So anything that comes up, I'm happy for people to hear.
Yeah, we won't go too deep today. Save that for private. Okay, so nuts and grains, dairy and other. Are you eating any dairy at the moment?
No, not for the past 7 days, 6 days. Oh, I've had some eggs.
Okay.
For breakfast. That's the only thing.
Right, anything else? Miscellaneous. 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 10 to 20. You haven't had any golden syrup, have you? I know it sounds random. Golden syrup?
I put a bit of rice syrup in a homemade
cakes or flapjack
salad dressing. No, but I put a bit of honey in a cacao latte with coconut milk, honey, this morning.
Oh.
And I put rice syrup. I put rice syrup in a salad dressing a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
I made one.
Okay. Does she need to avoid the rice syrup? Yeah, that's a no-no.
Oh no! How am I going to sweeten things without that? Because I don't
know. Coconut sugar, monk fruit sugar, date syrup, maple syrup, possibly a little bit better.
Is maple syrup all right to have then?
Is it appropriate for her to have maple syrup? Yeah, that's fine. I'm getting strong for that. So nuts and grains. Anything else on this page? No. Okay, where to next? Right, you've frozen a little bit, but hopefully you can still hear me.
Yeah, I can see and hear you. Fine.
Structural nutritional. Chemicals. Okay, what cosmetics and bath and shower stuff are you using?
Cosmetics I use sort of very limited, as you can tell. I have Arbonne mascara, which is really good, and Arbonne, a little bit of moisturising, tinted moisturiser, but I put a bit on to save it. Shower stuff.
What about shampoos and bath and shower gels?
Yeah, mainly doTERRA, or using Yarrow Pom. Yeah, they're both like quite natural, but I don't use a lot. Is it deodorant maybe? That's why I use it every day, but it's like an aluminium free one.
Are you taking an aluminium free one?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a natural one. I'm quite good when it comes to.
It's cosmetic.
Is it makeup or is it moisturiser?
Okay. Moisturiser.
It's a doTERRA one that's really clean, quite clean, and maybe one little product in there.
Okay, let's come back to that.
That one thing it could be. There's one thing that it could be. I dyed my hair with semi-permanent colour. It might be that, because that was a little bit toxic, but it's better than. It's one of the best.
Okay, so I'm definitely picking up chemicals.
Yeah, just check. Is it the hair dye? Because I did think that myself. Oh, I just don't like this anymore. The other day.
Yeah, it's the hair dye.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking about just going natural brown. Yeah.
You can get aluminium-free ones now, can't you?
It is aluminium free.
Oh, it is aluminium-free.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
right.
the most natural hair, and it's only semi-permanent. So, is it really bad?
Oh, okay. Well, it's showing in your energy. That's
Yeah. Maybe I need to like
okay.
shampoo.
Right, are we all clear on chemicals? Right. So I think we found the right one. So it's gone strong now.
Yeah, I knew that.
Nutritional. Right. Let's check your deficiencies. That's flagging up. Okay. So is it vitamins and minerals, essential fatty acids? 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 10 to 12. Flaxseed you need.
Oh, that's interesting.
Anything else? Remedies, common herbs, tissue salts, miscellaneous, all health, green foods, 1 to 10, 10 to 18, 10 to 11, 12, 13, 14. Seaweed. Would
Seaweed.
that be sea moss and bladderwrack? Seaweed. So sea moss and bladderwrack blend is really good because it's contains 102 of the 102 minerals body needs.
Where do I get that from?
You can order that from Bush Doctor on eBay, I believe. That comes as a supplement. I just empty the little capsules and put it in my smoothie. Okay, anything else on green foods? Yeah, I think it's the minerals that you need because it's saying boron, calcium, chromium, iodine, iron, magnesium, manganese, potassium. Yeah. So the sea moss and bladderwrack will provide you the full whammy. Okay, all clear on this page. Structural nutrition. Okay, mercury I'm picking up. Have you got any fillings? Have you had your vaccinations?
I did up until the last vaccination I had was when I was year 7 or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I might have had one.
Right, I'm just going to check percentage of heavy metals in your body. Okay, right. So that 100. What is the current heavy metal level? Is it less than 90, less than 80, less than 70, less than 60? 60% exactly. 60%. So I would recommend a bit of a heavy metal detox. Liquid zeolites is really good for removing heavy metals.
I was brilliant. I'm up for doing this, definitely. So what was it called, honey? Liquid.
Yeah, it's ultra liquid zeolite with added DHQ.
Zeolite.
Probably get that on eBay as well. Amazon don't do it anymore.
Can you tell me how to spell it? Liquid zeolite.
ZEOLITE. So it removes heavy metals and toxins, supports the immune system, balances the pH, and pulls out all the pesticides and all that nasty stuff. And it's got ionic trace minerals.
Amazing.
Very natural.
So would you have like any detox symptoms as you're using that daily, potentially, as they're being like
You shouldn't do. Start off slowly, 13 drops a day, probably for the first week. Then you can double it for the second week. Possibly, actually, probably do it for week 2, 3, 4 at 26 drops a day. Then you can probably maybe increase again. But if your skin starts itching, then you know you're detoxing too quickly. So then just lower it again.
Okay, thank you. That's really helpful.
And that's a really common thing that I find with clients as well, because a lot of people have got, the dental amalgams.
Yeah, my
and
mum's got fillings and she's desperately trying to, you know, she understands that it can affect the heavy metals in your body.
yeah, you can, you know, fatigue, migraines, oh, you name it. If you can afford to, I know you don't have any, but anyone who has got them, you can get them removed from a holistic dentist, one tooth at a time. I think it's about £150 a tooth, I believe. I'm not sure. My mum had all of hers removed, and her eyesight improved. She was short-sighted.
Wow.
But yeah,
because actually both my parents wear glasses and they've both got filling.
they've got fillings. Yeah, so if
They weren't
so
supposed
you would have inherited some mercury there then from your being in your mum's womb. So any heavy metals in mum's liver gets carried on to the baby's liver in the womb.
Wow.
So yeah, you might want to get Toby done as well then.
Are these drops safe enough for him to take?
Say that again?
Are these drops, these ultra liquid zeolite?
They should be, yeah. Yeah, they should be. Yeah, the only thing I wouldn't recommend is probably pregnant women, because you wouldn't want to be detoxing while you're pregnant with loads of toxins floating around.
I imagine there might be a pill, a homeopathic remedy or something for children, because he loves those homeopathic remedies, like for heavy metal.
It's pretty safe, and it doesn't taste of anything. It's good. It's quite dark and brown, but yeah, it doesn't taste of anything, so it's pretty safe. And it's probably best to get it out now before he turns 18, because that's when the two halves of the brain fuse together and trap in any metals in there.
No way. So how many drops? Sorry, I'm asking these questions, but
what, for Toby?
Yeah.
5 a day.
For how long?
About 3 weeks. So 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
Probably shouldn't take too long because he's only little, isn't he?
Thanks, honey.
Okay. Right, structural, nutritional. Yeah, it just flagged up minerals again, but we know that that's what you need. Structural, nutritional, emotional, electrical, mental, spiritual. Right, vibrational healing.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, which hertz does she need? Yeah, so 852 hertz, which is for spiritual enlightenment, letting go of fear and returning one to a spiritual order. So you can probably go onto YouTube, Googling that frequency, or search for that frequency, and just stick your headphones in. It'll heal you on a vibrational level. So does she need that daily for 1 week, 2 weeks? 2 weeks. Listening to that.
And sound healing, that's been coming up for me. So that's kind of linked there, using voice and different pitches and frequency to clear myself, sort of thing, and others. So I'm going to be doing an attunement with someone in Ibiza who does that, like light language.
Oh, so amazing. Light language is so healing as well.
Yeah. I just started doing it the other day. I've done it for a while, but sort of consciously realizing that I could develop that more. And when I did it, when I felt a really foggy head the other day, this week, and I just started doing this thing with my voice, and it literally cleared the energy around, inside and around me. Yeah. Amazing. So it's something powerful in that.
Look at that.
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay. What else? Okay, so electrical, emotional, structural energy. you need a quantum code. And I've left it upstairs, haven't I?
What is it? The next section?
Well, you need a quantum code, and I've left my book upstairs. Is it all right if I go and quickly get it?
Yeah, whilst you do that, I'll chat to myself. Quantum codes look like this. Can you see that? I don't know if that's the right way. Channeling hope without losing energy. So I was given this last time. I do quite a lot of group and mainly group sessions on Zoom, where I kind of connect with, this was really weird, she's not here. Sort of connect and I don't know what you call it, like spiritual counselling, I don't know, intuitive counselling, guidance basically. And sometimes I can feel quite tired afterwards, after the group sessions. And so I didn't tell Stacey this, she didn't know, but that came up last time, 9655178. Do you remember that? And it's channeling hope to a group, however, it doesn't matter how large it is.
Oh yeah.
Without losing personal energy. So I've been putting them on my laptop, and actually I do really feel fine afterwards.
Yeah.
So
I usually go to bed and just have a load of codes just on my body.
What we need is some sort of like locket, so that each session write down the code and wear it, because I just
that's a good idea.
In my pockets and I forget to
someone to design it with interchangeable codes.
Yes.
Okay, right. So does she want a code from this page? Okay, so you need a code for balancing the energies in your life experience to smooth them, level them, so no more peaks and valleys, so that the overall effect is more pleasant on most days.
Yes, please.
Right,
yes, please. I love the explanations, they're hilarious.
Brilliant, isn't it? Okay, so I'm just going to put this into your energy. So we've got 1 1 3 3 5 1 7. Okay, all clear on that code. Just need it ongoing. Just need that code ongoing. 1 week, that code. Did you get it?
I think so. 1133157.
1133517.
Sorry.
Okay, all clear on that code.
And that's
any other code?
What's that for?
Right, anything else on this page? Okay. So I've got to give you a Akashic record attunement. Is this allowed in her current life plan? Yes, it is. Okay, so you probably won't need this ongoing. Any attunements, you won't. It's just a one-off. It's like a Reiki sort of thing.
Yeah.
So 4 7 9 6 2 6 8 5 5 4 9 7 2 3. Right, I'll clear that code.
What's that for?
Codes?
What's that? What is that for? Have you got any more information?
For an Akashic record attunement.
So that's just basically, so just in case anyone's watching going, what are they talking about? What are the Akashic records?
So Akashic record is literally the record of your soul. So every single life you've had, how many times you've been male, how many times you've been female, all of that stuff. So everything, your life purpose. So yeah,
wounds, things like that, core wounds.
Yeah, all of that stuff.
So it's basically a re-remembering. Because literally, I don't know if I told you this, but we had a session on a Thursday, and on the Saturday, I don't know, I can't even just explain the experience I had. It was like I was standing in the kitchen, and it was like I re-remembered who I was on a soul level.
Wow.
And this overview knowledge of life, and like me and my life is a jigsaw. And all these pieces from the past and people from the past. And I could see into the future just the same as I could the past of this lifetime. and this connection to like another family or home that wasn't earthly, and an overwhelming feel, and an earpiece as well. And from that day forward for a week, I channeled it, loads of information like daily, and it was like I literally had an earpiece in. And I had this during the psychosis experience, but it obviously triggered a lot of fear. And this time I didn't feel as much fear, just overwhelmed with, oh my goodness, this is like a game, this whole life, and I'm remembering my essence of who I am. And this, like, and actually Akashic Records attunement is a very good way to describe that experience. So, oh my goodness. And that was I know what you did, the 1111 thing. Do you remember the
1111? Yeah, what was that one? That was another attunement.
Advanced spiritual capabilities or something.
Oh, it's a circuit upgrade for advanced capabilities. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah. So it's interesting with this. This is
apparently when you go through psychosis, it's the body releasing like more DMT than normal. So when you're born, you release DMT, and when you die, you release DMT. And I think you release a little bit, obviously, in your sleep. That's why you get like weird dreams. But when you go through psychosis, you're releasing a lot more. And that's why you can see like multi-dimensional stuff. Not that I've experienced that, but
I just wish there was like less fear attached to it. I think the fear could be the reaction to what you're seeing, and then not being able to.
Yeah, if you don't know what it is, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so does she need any other quantum codes? Does she need something else in this page? This column. Oh, a protection attunement. So this is protect your energy. 1794625 826954113. Right, don't need that ongoing.
I always get protection.
That's a one-off.
Every time.
Sorry?
I always get some sort of protection code, don't I?
Yeah. Okay, all clear on that code. Just need any other quantum codes. Right, that's it for the quantum codes.
Cute.
Do love my codes.
I know. And please tell us, do you remember you said, I love this, about Lemuria, Atlantis. Tell us, do you remember what was written in the book? Do you remember that a few conversations ago? Oh, you said in the Lemurian times and Atlantean times, they would use codes because they didn't have doctors, like to heal people, like we're doing now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember having that conversation though.
Yeah, you read it from the book. It was in yeah. That stuck with me because I thought that was really fascinating.
And most of us are probably from those times anyway, because we're trying to finish what we should have done then.
Exactly. There's a loop going on in time, and where we had the fall of Atlantis.
We've already done it.
It's almost like that was our practice go for like now as well, not allowing Earth to fall into the dense reality, but to lift the vibration of the Earth. And that obviously comes with us lifting our own personal frequency. So I love the quantum codes, and like everything is coding. Everything has frequency encoding.
We have to be like computers, really.
Yeah.
So like negative programming, let's take that out, overwrite it with something positive. Let's tweak that, viruses as well. We are literally walking computers.
and the like, for example, if you were to use I am happy, I am healthy, like that statement and affirmation is a technique to rewrite a program. But sometimes
but you have to take out the root of that negative programming first, otherwise those affirmations aren't going to work. That's why a lot of people,
old paradigm stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, they might be doing a lot of what's it called, law of attraction stuff, manifestation, trying to, all the affirmations and stuff, but they're not really getting anywhere in life. It's because they need to clear that root negative belief.
Usually got the subconscious mind, which is like 95% of our mind, and then generally, unless you're really like aware, and then it's more into your conscious mind. Then you've got 5% your conscious mind.
So the more you can take out that negative programming, I've lost my train of thought now. But yeah, the more you can take out the negative programming, you're just going to feel so much happier.
Because it does run deeper. Sometimes you can think, oh, I really want to, this is what I want. Like for me, it's like I want a husband, a family. And this is a deep thing for me, like this goes back lifetimes, and I'm happy for it to come up naturally rather than me force it, because I feel quite happy in myself right now. But there will be deep trauma around that, and beliefs formed around that, which I know comes from my experience. My main relationship in this life with Toby's dad, that was definitely having an effect on me now, 5 years on. But it's all about awareness, isn't it? If we have the awareness, we're open to really truly change and heal ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so should we leave that there then as a little teaser?
It was brilliant. There's not much come up with emotions, but I think I'm quite.
Do we really want to go there?
Do you want to do one more thing to do with emotions? Right. Yeah, because I think a lot of people that are watching would resonate more with that over the spiritual coding and the.
So with what the what? Sorry.
Sorry. I said a lot of people that watch, but they might be going through their own awakening. They might be triggered, and I'm happy to be not vulnerable, but I'm not afraid to. See what comes up. Right, be honest with that, because I'm an emotional.
Let's have a look then. Let's tap in again. Right, so it's not come up emotional. It's coming up with something structural.
Structural.
5 elements. Oh, so that kind of is emotional, but it's affecting. Okay, right.
Affecting the body.
Right. So, what emotion are we looking? Yeah. So it's an emotion in part of your or one of your organs. So is it on the fire element, wood element, water? Is it bladder? Is it kidney? Kidney. Fear.
Fear. Yeah.
So that could be the stuff with the helicopters in that you wanted to clear.
Yeah, I'm going to on Monday. I'm going to really set that as an intention.
So I won't meddle in that, because it sounds like you're going to have a whole session just on that, really, isn't it? Right. No.
So just for anyone watching, so the emotions can live in or be associated with an organ. Do you want to run over that as well? So with some people have a physical ailment that's like a manifestation over a long period of chronic emotional pain.
Yeah, so when we go through something shocking or traumatic, or someone's been nasty to us, something like that, it will get stuck in our energy, and then it will come down all the layers of our aura, down all the chakras. If we still haven't dealt with it, it will manifest physically. So the liver is to do with anger. The heart is to do with self-worth, love, hate, anger again. Stomach, disgust, sympathy, nausea, hunger. Yeah, and bladder, kidney, it's to do with fear, anxiety. So you can just check like where your symptoms are, which part of the body they manifest. It can also be related to chakras as well.
Yeah. So if there's someone watching and they've got chronic back pain, for example, you might go to the doctors and you might take painkillers, and you might find that with investigation in the medical route, there isn't anything really physically going on, or maybe there is, but either way, it really boils down to an energy block that's caused by an emotional response.
do with the back, it's usually like if it's lower back, it's feeling unsupported. If it's middle back, maybe going through something where a friend has stabbed you in the back or someone stabbed you in the back. Shoulders, again, it's like a lot of burden, maybe responsibility. So yeah, and if undealt with over time, yeah, it will turn into something, you know, not, I wouldn't say serious, but it could be. But yeah.
I just hope that this message, like, that people can start to question, and see that the links in their life and in their body. And you know, so often, especially recently, I've been saying to people that I work with or friends that have got issues, like, if your body is in pain, in dis-ease, if there is a block there, or like, we are so quick to go, aren't we? We're so quick to reject the pain.
Or let's go and take a tablet.
Or
suppress it further.
Suppress the pain, get rid of the pain, get rid of the pain. Same way we say to a small child, stop crying, stop crying. We're telling the child, we're teaching that child that they should be not expressing their feelings, but to really express them. And same with it's just the way we've been brought up, isn't it? But really, I say to people, imagine that part of your body is just trying to tell you something important, and it's trying to get your attention. That's why it's in pain, screaming out.
That's exactly what it's doing,
And I mean,
hello, you haven't dealt with me.
I'm not perfect at this. I'm not perfect at this. And being a busy single mum, with you know, business is running, and lots of beautiful friends and family. Like, I am not perfect at this. Like, right now, I'm aware how my body feels. And sometimes you can't just go, right, Stacey, I'm going to go and just do some healing or tune into my body and find out why I've got this pain. But if we can just take time out each day, even if it's just 10 minutes a day, just to stop and breathe with oils or however we want to do it, just to be out in nature, ground, and just be aware of how our body feels, and just start to change that relationship as actually our body, our pain is trying to tell us something important. And then we can go deeper with tuning in as well. That's another subject. But I think there is this disconnect from the mind and the body, which is not taught.
It is mostly.
Oh wow, is it?
It's mostly trapped emotions, though.
Yeah, and I think the doctors. Do you think doctors are starting to? I mean, I don't speak to doctors, so I never go to doctors. I don't know, but no, the last one I did go to, and I thought I had a UTI when I'd come out of psychosis, and I was in so much fear that I was going to go back into that world after starting 3 weeks on to come out of it. So I went to the doctors, and I thought, and I really felt this urine infection, like I felt it physically so strongly. And I did my urine sample, and they tested it. The doctor said, you haven't got a urine infection. I said, no. She goes, what makes you think you've got a urine infection? Because I've got all this pain, and it's starting to affect my mind. Like, I can feel my head going busy. That's one of the symptoms of dissociating and going into this psychotic episode. And she said, you haven't got an infection. And I said, well, and I kind of burst into tears, but I did feel supported. She said, it's emotional, it's trauma, it's an emotional issue with you. And that was amazing to hear a doctor say that. So I believe there is so much hope.
And it is.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Stacey. Like, I hope
you're welcome.
I know you haven't done anything like this before, but I thought you were pretty awesome.
I've never done this before. Excuse my nerves in the beginning.
It was lovely. And how can people reach you if you, because have you got availability for clients to come and work one-to-one? I know we're in lockdown, but have you got availability? And how do they get in touch with you?
Yep, so you can find me on Facebook, Stacey Carl Kinesiology, or you can look at my website, raw-com. So they can go straight into my diary, or they can send me a message, give me a ring, whatever.
Can you say that again? So Stacey Carl, CARL on Facebook. So she's on there. You're on there. And what was your website again? Because we couldn't hear you.
www.raw-com health-coach.com. Which I'm looking to change soon to I've just bought staceycarl.com, so I'm going to be changing to a new one.
Okay. So Facebook, find you on Facebook, and I'll put this on Facebook. We'll link up to your personal page. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for this little mini session. It was brilliant. I've got some work to do on myself now.
A little bit there.
Seaweed, flax seeds, maple syrup I can have now. The liquid zeolites drops for the clearing the mercury, the heavy metals, and the quantum codes for the overall calmness in my day. Yes, please. And I'm going to work on the fear and the kidney stuff on Monday. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Love you.